I'm Edie Lush, Executive Editor of Hub Culture, and continuing our conversations on AI here in Davos. Really pleased to be here with Bri Treece. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm delighted to be here as well.
Co-founder and Chief Impact Officer at Fathom.
Correct.
Now, I don't think you can make a step on the promenade without seeing a sign about artificial intelligence or hearing somebody have a discussion about it. Yet we also know that trust continues to be a real issue in artificial intelligence general and LLMs, and now in agents, right?
Correct.
So give me a little bit of the perspective that as you come into this week in Davos, where you think the arguments are.
Yeah, I think that at the same time, we're seeing AI as a technology really take off. We often talk about it as the capabilities are moving so quickly. And what we're seeing is a farther and farther bifurcation between what the technology can do and how it's actually getting used in society and in our economy, because we do have this real barrier of trust and a trust infrastructure. And I think we have some really good solutions forward on how to bridge that gap. But as long as people need to understand and build some confidence and trust before they can fully accept it into their lives and into their businesses, that gap is going to continue to grow. And so I think as we really want to reap the benefits of the technology, addressing that trust barrier is critical.
So how do we build that trust? We have a number of regulations. The EU AI Act is live. New York just cut a deal on AI regulation, and California is still debating its next act. Over 100 different regulations, and that's just thinking about one part of the world. How do we deal with this?
Yeah, I think that we have to think about regulation in a different way. I don't think there's any 200-page piece of legislation or piece of regulation that is going to really capture what we need to capture here. The technology is moving too quickly. It has too many applications and uses. At Fathom, we have a governance model that we think can really meet the moment at hand and be the infrastructure for this trust barrier that we're seeing, which is an ecosystem of what we call independent verification organizations. So organizations, companies with the right independence from the developers that they would be overseeing, but have the right technical expertise and methodologies to be able to assess models and systems and be able to say, yes, this is going to achieve what we think it's going to achieve. Let's say this happens before we implement into K through 12 systems. Let's say this is a check mark that we want to see before we start to have children interacting with the products, or we put this into our stock market. And really the key of how this is different than how we've done regulation typically is that this system can keep pace with the technology, and as this is getting integrated into our society and economy, and with our model, these IVOs have oversight from the government, who is holding this system accountable for the outcomes they are assessing against.
How does it work?
Governments would authorize an independent verification organization that came and applied and said, we are going to assess this system for use in the financial industry. And here are the things we're going to be assessing against. Here's what we can give the green check mark to say, yes, this is going to achieve these things that the government has told us we need to achieve as we're implementing this into some critical infrastructure, for example. The government authorizes the independent verification. Folks who are doing the development for products they want to be used in the financial sector bring their product and say, yes, please give us the check mark. We're doing the good work here and we want to be known for doing that good work. Give us that green check mark. As an enterprise buyer, for, let's say within the financial industry, to continue on this example, I now have the confidence to say, hey, this has already been checked. I don't personally have the technical infrastructure inside my bank to be able to do this, but I can look to this third-party system to say, I feel safe. I can now integrate this into my system. And we're going to learn more and more as AI gets integrated, as agents start interacting with agents. We're going to have new questions. We're going to have new best practices. This private side ecosystem can keep pace with that and say, we actually know how to do this better now. And we expect you to be doing it in this better way now that we know.
How does regulating companies allow those companies to still keep pace with international competition? Because it's not just, of course, the big US companies, but we've got Chinese, other companies who maybe don't have the same approach towards regulation.
Yeah, I mean, I see this as an actual expediter. So we talked about the trust barrier, and it's not just about who is getting the best capabilities out there. It's who is actually integrating this into their economy and society in a meaningful and productive way. And right now what we're seeing is we're not able to integrate it as quickly as we could if we did have that trust infrastructure. And so from an AI developer's perspective, it gives them clarity and a system to latch into to say, I'm putting my products through this. I'm doing the best that is out there today on this. And my products are then being able to innovate and getting adopted, and we're able to move more quickly because of this system.
Okay, are you getting interest?
We're getting a lot of interest.
All right, what can we look out for in the coming months?
We are working at the state level in the U.S. and we are starting conversations internationally as well.
All right, keep us in touch. Keep us tuned into what's happening. Thank you so much for stopping by the
Yes.
Outdoor Hub Culture Studio. I'm Edie Lush.
Thank you so much.